Hey everyone, just a really quick overview on Memo 1, sort of what the expectations are and how you can get an A. So, for this memo, it's asking you to reflect on a personal experience that you had with technology recently. We'll go over more specifically the assignment questions and some of the criteria to make sure that you answer and meet. But be sure that you're familiar with the Unit 3 module that we just went through. If you have not, maybe if that didn't make a lot of sense to you, or if you did it really early in that module and it's already been a couple weeks since you reviewed that, just be sure that you're really familiar with not only the formatting expectations, but also the expectations on like what a memo is, like the elevation of your language. Not that to say that it should sound like completely alien to you, but it should also feel professional and polished and like a final draft. Um, and so, and also like the included sections that need to be there for the memo, like the introduction and the conclusion. So again, review or the module 3 video on memos if you need to. So it's asking you, I'm going to zoom in here. It's asking you to um, consider some kind of technology. So it could be it's as something as simple as like a website or like an online checkout or something on your phone. Could be something like a physical experience you had, like a kiosk or some kind of a touch screen out in the wild. So truly any kind of technology that you can think of that just kind of made an impact on you or that you feel really familiar with that you could talk about it for a few hundred words is a great way to go. Um, okay, so make sure that you answer the following questions, and again, this isn't like going to be a bullet for bullet matchup, like where you submit like 8 or 9 bullet points that just answer these. It really should still be written in a narrative format where you're kind of weaving in the answers to this. You also don't want to make each one of these a separate heading, just because even though headings are wonderful, some of these would probably go into a single heading, or maybe all of it would be like your body paragraph headings or what have you. Or sorry, the headings for your body paragraphs. Meaning, like if you did like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 headings in a 500-word memo, that would be a little bit excessive. It's not like there's a general or it's not like there's a specific rule to that. That's just kind of general, like we want to be reasonable with the amount of headings that we include. So what was the technology that you chose? Make sure that you include that. How do you feel that it was effective in letting you accomplish your goal? How do you feel that it was maybe ineffective, or it could be more effective in, helping you reach your goal and having you use the technology to complete some kind of task? And then there's a few bullets kind of in the middle here. These ones are the ones that I really want you to think about when you write this, because how do you suppose the technology was created? This is where we start to think about, and I know that we haven't gone over any of the job roles yet in this course, but this is where you want to start thinking of, how did maybe a group of people come together to assemble this technology? Because multiple teams had to work together. So, which teams or departments do you think work together? What are the main components or aspects of the technology regarding its primary tasks and functions? And then, what feelings did you have as you used it? What made you have those feelings? Did you enjoy using it? And I think the question of did you enjoy using it, try to think about, did you enjoy using it in so much that you were able to do what you needed to do? So, for example, if you're thinking about like the technology for filing your taxes, that's never going to be a fun activity to do, but the technology can at least facilitate you having to do that in as simple and even potentially delightful way as possible. So I think when you think about did you enjoy using the technology, it should kind of be agnostic to if the task that you needed to complete was a negative task, because the technologies sort of doesn't have anything to do with that. All it can really do is again help facilitate you completing what you need to do. So think about that. So use the memo formatting as explained. It's really, again, it's simple stuff, but it's specific, detailed stuff on how to format. So please don't lose any points on things as quote unquote simple as formatting. And make sure that you write this in enough time to visit the Tech Com lab if you need to, because the TECM lab, which is in the auditorium building on the main UNT campus, or they have virtual appointments, But if you have questions there, they are a resource for you. So really, with the detailed module lecture video and with that resource of the TechCom lab, you know, losing points on formatting is something that you should avoid to do because there's lots and lots and lots of resources for you to not do that. Um, make sure that the subject line reads something related to do with the course. So, Memo 1, reflecting on a recent experience with technology. And then just, make sure that it is uh, submitted on time is another thing. So, again, this is meant to be a personal reflection memo. So, it's not asking you for the definition of technology. It's not asking you for, to go to ChatGPT and say, to type in like what types of teams work together on technology, and then it spits out like a very scientific answer. And the thing is, we haven't covered any of those job roles in this course yet, so I would be a little surprised if you said something like, oh, and an information architect worked on this project or worked on this software to make sure that the navigation was seamless. Like, I would be a little surprised if you said that because we haven't touched on what that is, even though we will later. So again, there really shouldn't be any outside research conducted for this memo. Um, Please feel free to ask me any questions if you have them about the content of the memo itself. But again, reach out to the TECM lab for help with formatting and software, and also the UNT Writing Center, which is a more sort of general lab that you can visit for help with writing itself, things like grammar, style, punctuation, word choice, things like that. And again, when you visit the UNT Writing Center, you do get 10 points of extra credit to this memo, in addition to probably earning a better grade than you would have had you not visited them. So, so just be sure to consider doing that and leaving yourself space to do that. And again, in Unit 3, the one of the number one tips that I have is just to get started. Sorry, I've got some meetings coming up. It's just to get started early on these memos and give yourself room to breathe with them, because really 500 words isn't all that much. My goodness gracious. Sorry about all those alerts there. 500 words really isn't all that much, especially if you just kind of come to it, you kind of jot down your outline, or again, another tip, just start writing anything. It doesn't have to be formatted well, it doesn't have to be even particularly written well, because sometimes just getting past that blank sheet of paper and just starting to like get your thoughts on there makes all the difference in terms of your ease and your ability to get this thing written. So just don't forget those tips and don't wait till the last minute, because if something happens with like your computer crashing and you submit it late, it's I still can't accept a late memo because we have 2 weeks to write them. So please, please, please do not wait until the last minute and be the person emailing me at like midnight saying some excuse, because even though accidents happen and technology does weird things like crashing or not submitting or blah, 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 you have 2 weeks to do a simple assignment, as far as simple as in 500 words. So anyway, please, please don't wait till the last minute. All right. Thanks. Good luck.